What's up, YouTube? This is Uncle Zach, and yes, I'm back. Today's review is over 15 Mancera fragrances for spring. Stay tuned. Okay, so let's get into it. It's going to be a long video. I'm going to try to put them into chapters so you guys can go to particular places within the video. Have these three in front of you because I consider them to be cousins or sisters or whatever you want to call it, because there are some similarities between these. They don't all smell the same, but again, if you smell a lot of these fragrances, you start to see similarities. Now, Mancera is a fragrance house, is a niche house. It's on the inexpensive end of niche. These bottles that I have are 120 ml bottles. You can get a lot of these fragrances for $100 or less if you search hard enough on the discounter fragrance site websites. Now, let's start, I guess, with Amber Fever. Amber Fever. It's an amber vanilla fragrance, and it has, some musk, caramel, whiskey, tonka bean, hazelnut, rose petals, jasmine, violet, teak wood, and oak moss. So it has these notes that you guys are probably familiar with, so you probably know where I'm going. All three of these kind of have, I guess, how can I say it? I guess they're not clones of Baccarat Rouge, but they have similarities to it. All three of them do. And so Amber Fever is more of it's a lighter fragrance. Now, none of these Mancera fragrances are weak, so to speak. But when I say light, I mean that it's not overly offensive as far as its scent profile. It's very subtle, but it's still a strong, it pushes out, but it's a subtle fragrance. That's the best way I can put it. And so this one is a good scent if you don't want to overpower people, if you don't want to be offensive, but you want to smell sweet and you want to smell seductive. Now, speaking of seductive, let me get into the next one, which is Instant Crush. Now, Instant Crush is Mancera's inspiration of Baccarat Rouge 540. They don't say that, but we all know that it is. Once you smell it, you know right away. It definitely does not smell exactly like Baccarat Rouge 540, but it's definitely inspired by it. Being a niche house, you always think, oh, well, niche houses, they don't do that kind of stuff. Yes, they do. A lot of these niche houses are inspired by some of the popular designer fragrances, some of the popular niche fragrances. And, I go so far as to say some of these niche houses actually are clone houses. Again, if you have enough fragrances, you'll be able to smell that, so to speak. So anyway, a lot of people prefer this to Baccarat Rouge 540 because it doesn't have, some people say something about a latex smell or something like that. This doesn't have that. It has a lot of sweetness. It's a very sexy fragrance. I mean, it's unisex. It has some sweetness. Saffron is in there. Of course, it shares that with BR 540. Sicilian mandarin, Sicilian bergamot, amberwood, Moroccan rose, Egyptian jasmine, Indonesian patchouli leaf, Madagascar vanilla. It has that vanilla in there. The white musk, sandalwood, and oak moss. So it has some of those same notes. So this and Amber Fever, like I would say, Amber Fever smells like a lighter Instant Crush, because Instant Crush it can be one of those that if you overspray it, you're gonna choke people out. Again, these Mancera fragrances are strong. Let's go to Precious Oud. It's an amber vanilla fragrance. So, of course, it has vanilla in it, and the name Precious Oud lets you know that it has some oud as well. So it has Laotian oud, whiskey, leather, bergamot, tiramisu, the dessert, rose, violet, magnolia, patchouli leaf, vanilla, amber, oak moss, sandalwood, and cedar. This smells, I guess, I would say this actually smells a little bit in the direction of BR 540 simply because of the oud. I guess it gives it a, I don't know, it's a characteristic. It's hard to describe, but if you smell it, you understand what I'm saying. But all three of these have that you definitely, if you have all three, you'll feel like they are related, so to speak. But Precious Oud, it has a little bit more depth to it because of the oud and the leather. And I think this one is more for the colder or cooler spring days, maybe. You can probably get away with it on the hotter days if you spray lightly, maybe 1 or 2 sprays. But again, all of these Manceras are beast mode. All right, so next up we have Wild Leather. Now, Wild Leather, it's of course it's a leather fragrance, and Wild Leather, it has up top, of course, it has the Sicilian bergamot, it has patchouli, Bulgarian rose, violet, of course the leather, oak moss, gaiac wood, white musk, and amber. So it's a leather fragrance, and it's not a strong leather fragrance. You know, some of these niche leather fragrances are animalic and just so strong that, you know, they almost come off like oud or something. But this one is I would say is middle of the road. It's a nice leather fragrance, has some depth, but it's not too strong. It'll get you through, and again, you know, you have to like leather or whatnot, but it's definitely one for the, I'd say is good for the spring, and you can get by with this maybe in the cooler spring days as well. Probably not the hot spring days, but, you know, probably more on the cooler days. Now, the next one is probably one of my favorites. One of my favorites for spring and summer, actually, is Sicily. Now, Mancera Sicily, it's a citrus fragrance, and it's fruity. It's like it's just a fruity citrus fragrance. You know, it has mandarin orange, grapefruit, peach, pineapple, bergamot, apple, jasmine, ylang-ylang, violet, rose, and it has musk and woody notes in the base, so that gives it a nice undertone. But this one is just a very fruity fragrance. It's not fruity in the sense of a bunch of fruits. I have one for that, but I'll get to that. This is more of a citrusy fruity, if you will. You know, great on hot sunny days, and you just smell really nice, citrusy and fruity. It's an uplifting fragrance. It brightens your day, man. It's just a really nice fragrance. It's probably one of my favorite Manceras. Next one is that I have is Lemon Lime. Now, Lemon Lime, I did a review on this a couple years ago or whatnot, but Lemon Lime, it says, you know, they say this has lemon, but I get more of a lime. I don't know. Some people can't tell the difference, but I get more of a lime on this. But top notes are lemon, lavender orange, geranium, white flowers, amber, oak moss, and white musk. And so this basically is about the lemon or the lime or whatever. And it's not totally linear, but you have to like lemon or lime or whatever, just that scent. And again, you have the oak moss and the white musk in the base, so it gives it a little bit underneath, but it's still just about the lemon or the lime, you know. So you definitely just have to like that scent. You know, some people just really like lime or lemon, and that's what this is all about. So now this brings me to the one that I mentioned before, was Wild Fruits. Now, Wild Fruits, it's not like Sicily. It has black currant in it, and if you ever smell that, then you know it's a type of fruit that stands out in the composition. And so the notes in this one is citruses, kumquat, lemon, grapefruit, fruity notes, black currant, as I said, peach, apple, violet, white musk, and cedar. And so that, what I get out of this is it's like a basket of fruit, like just different fruits chopped up in a basket. And of course that the black currant kind of stands out to me, but you know, the apple and, you know, just all of those fruits just stand out more. Now, Sicily is, like I said, it's more of the citrusy fruits. It smells fruity, but it's more of the citrusy fruits. But this one is just a bunch of fruits, you know, hence the name wild fruits. And, you know, again, you have to like those types of fragrances, but, you know, yes, men can wear this as well. You know, I know a lot of ladies like to do blending or whatever you want to call it, but this one definitely will do the job. Next, I have gold. No, I think, what did I have next? I think, let's see, yeah, kumquat wood. KUMKAT wood. I did a review on that one as well a couple years ago, and I really like this one. It has grapefruit, spices, bergamot, floral notes, patchouli, amber, cedar, vetiver, sandalwood, and white musk. Now, the best way to describe this, it's just woody. I don't know. I mean, it's not just a woody fragrance, but, you know, of course I read off all the notes in it, but it's just, it comes, you know, it's a woody fragrance. That's the best way I can describe it. I mean, it has the grapefruits and spices and everything up top, the bergamot, but it really just comes off as a woody fragrance. So if you like that, this one would be a good one for that as well. And I'm skimming over these because, you know, I'm not going to do an in-depth review of these. I'm just giving you, you know, what my my take on these are, because it's going to be a longer video if I spend a lot of time on each one. Now, the one that is probably the most popular that you guys have heard about is CEDRAT BOISE. Now, just like I said earlier, a lot of these niche houses, they do their take on a lot of popular other fragrances, and I think this is their take. As everybody knows, this is their take on Aventus. It doesn't smell exactly like Aventus, but if you smell it immediately, you're going to know what they're trying to do. So yes, these niche houses do inspirations. This one I really like. They have an intense as well, but I don't have that. But this is a citrus aromatic. It has Sicilian lemon, black currant, bergamot, spicy notes, fruity notes, patchouli leaf, jasmine, cedar, leather, sandalwood, vanilla, white musk, and moss. And those are a lot of the notes that are in Aventus, if you know that, or any Aventus clone or whatever you want to call it. A lot of those notes are the same notes. And, you know, instead of the pineapple, they have the Sicilian lemon, but still, most of those notes are Aventus notes. This one is great, man. I mean, it's very versatile. Nobody's going to say they don't like this. Very strong, long lasting. I mean, I have nothing bad to say about this fragrance. So, you know, if you guys out there are going to get a Mancera fragrance and you don't want to get anything that is fancy or, you know, that you probably can't deal with, this would be my first choice for you. If I was going to recommend it to someone, you know, with a nose where they haven't been exposed to a lot of things, it would be this one. Very versatile. Men, I guess, and women could probably wear this because women do wear it. But this one is really nice, man. It's a no-brainer. Okay, so next up, we have gold incense. Now, gold incense, I'm trying to remember. Gold incense is it's a nice fragrance. I think it would probably, I think more, I tried to get fragrances in this list that didn't lean too feminine, but I think this is one where it might, it might lean a little feminine, but it has incense, mandarin orange, coffee, pink pepper, jasmine, violet, patchouli leaf and rose, vanilla pod, benzoin, and white musk. And it's not too sweet. It's not too anything, really. There's some sweetness there, but I think, you know, it's one of those where the incense you definitely pick up in the opening and the mandarin orange. The other notes, I think what gives it that femininity is probably the rose. So some guys probably would shy away from this, but I think this is great, by the way. You know, I'm not talking down on it. I'm just talking, you know, I know my viewer base is like very wide and some of you guys just won't wear anything feminine. So, but I'm just being honest with you. I think this would be, some of you guys would consider to be a little on the feminine leaning side. But it's still a good fragrance. And I mean, again, you know, I definitely know ladies would love this. But, you know, just think about those notes: incense, mandarin orange, coffee, pink pepper, you know, patchouli leaf, vanilla pod. You know, it's just, it's going to have some sweetness. All right. So next up, we have Saharian Wind. Now, Saharian Wind, this one, it's very interesting. I don't know, I get just right off the bat, I get the spices. The notes in this are spices, leather, bergamot, pink pepper, cypress, lavender, lily of the valley, woody notes, tobacco, vanilla, amber, patchouli, and white musk. And right off the bat, I get the spices. You know, the spices kind of stand out initially, and then you got your woody notes and tobacco, so it has some depth. But this one is definitely a niche scent. Again, it leans more masculine, and with the spices and the pink pepper, you know, sharpness of the pink pepper, it's one of those that, you know, definitely guys are gonna like and gravitate towards. Again, it's hard to convey some of these. This is one of them. It's kind of hard to convey, you know, through the video, but I think with the spices and the leather and the woody notes, this is one that guys are gonna like. You know, try this one out if you will, but it's definitely a niche scent. Now, the next one, SOLIEL d'Italie. This one is, you know, you get into hot weather, you want something that's going to bounce off your skin and just do magic. And this is one of them. The notes are orange, lime, Calabrian bergamot, mandarin orange, cardamom, pink pepper, watery notes, Bulgarian rose, patchouli leaf, white musk, ambergris, vetiver, cedar, and gaiac wood. This is a good spring fragrance, like just the quintessential spring fragrance. I mean the scent profile. This is just a good all around scent. I mean, summertime as well. I mean, you know, SOLIEL d'Italie. I think it's like Italian sun or something like that. I don't know Italian, but definitely with those notes, I mean, you can't go wrong with this in the spring or summer. The next one that I'm gonna talk to you guys about is AOUD Blue Notes. Now, a few people, not many people wear this or even aware of this AOUD Blue Notes. It has fruity notes, lemon, green notes, mandarin orange, bergamot, violet, orris root, rose, ylang ylang, patchouli, gaiac wood, leather, amber, sandalwood, and Madagascar vanilla. It's quite a unique scent. I don't know anything that I can say that this smells like. I mean, I really, you know, you get some of the green notes, maybe. I don't know why they didn't call it green note, but you get some of the green notes. You have that wood in the base. It's very unique. It's really very unique. I mean, I really can't say of anything that it smells like, but just use your imagination with those notes. I mean, I think it's definitely a spring scent, and you can get away with dressing this up as well. I think this is a nice spring scent to dress up. I don't know if I do this casually, but it's definitely one that you can dress up and wear. Now, the next one is probably one of my favorites of the house. I did a review on this one a couple years ago. It's Pearl. Pearl is all about the fig. It's all about the fig notes, the fig note. And I can tell you that if you don't like fig, you don't need to wear Pearl, because Pearl, from my memory, is very strong. It projects out and is very strong. It can definitely be offensive. The notes in this are fig, bergamot, green apple, white peach, rose, Egyptian jasmine, violet, musk, and ambergris. So if you don't like fig, you definitely don't need to buy this one. But this is a beautiful fragrance, man. Like it's really, really a beautiful fragrance. It projects out a whole lot. I mean, it's like, don't overspray this. You know, again, you have that apple, green apple, and white peach in there, so there's some fruitiness, but you know, not too much. But combined with that fig, and I mean, you know, it's just strong, man. Like, that's the best way I could describe it. Is very strong, you know. So fig is the star here. Pearl. Now, I think this is the last one on the list, and I think this is 15 fragrances in total. But this one is called Black Gold. Now, Black Gold is a leather fragrance. It has lavender, cinnamon, nutmeg, citruses, agarwood, violet, jasmine, patchouli leaf, rose, sea notes, leather, woody notes, white musk, amber, and vetiver. Now, this is one of those Swiss Army knives. You could probably wear this all year round. Maybe not in the summertime, but you know, this is one you can wear all year round. And forgive the dust that I have on this one, but I think Black Gold, the best way I can describe this one. Let me smell this again. Man, it smells good. Very nice smelling fragrance. It's an all-around fragrance. I mean, best way I can describe it, it's a Swiss Army knife. It can do a lot of things. You can wear it pretty much all year round. And again, it says it's a leather fragrance, but it's not one of those in-your-face leathers like the other one that I talked about. It's there, but it's not like you immediately say, oh, leather fragrance. It's not one of those, but it's definitely leather within the fragrance. But I think this one is, like, if you're going to get one that you can wear all year round and it can do a lot of things, that would be Black Gold. So, again, these were 15 Manceras that I think are good for spring. Again, like I said, I'm sorry if I missed something that you know of, that I probably have already that I didn't talk about. I'm sorry, but these are ones that just kind of, you know, jumped off at me right away. And I just wanted to make a quick video, a short video, you know, 15 fragrances that I think you guys would be interested in. So, you know, if this is something that you guys like, you know, let me know. If it's something I missed out, let me know. But appreciate it. Thanks for all the new subscribers. Thank you guys for your time and stopping by, and peace.